Specto is, at the end, a European product developed by Anglo Velocity, and in the core team we are two Finns, one Turkish, one Israeli. Sounds like a joke, but it started like a dream, and we are all coaches, you know, and we started to dream about a coaching tool. And we were looking for how can we create a coaching tool that will satisfy our needs and we can learn more about our game. And then we ended up with Specto. Specto is a LiDAR-based sensor that is scanning all around the lanes, and it's usually scanning up to 6 lanes successfully. It goes further, but we like to keep the resolution in a good shape and we want to be accurate enough. So we are limiting it with 6 lanes. And this is what it does, as you can see from the photo. You position in the right position, you calibrate it, then it scans everything in this area and it gives you a 0.3-inch precision from every place. What it tells us is what the ball is doing is travel down the lane. The moment it left the bowler's hand, we know what's happening to the ball, all down to the lane, until it hits the pins. And sometimes we can even see what's happening after the pin deck area. So that was a nice raw data that we, one way or another, converted that data in a more functional and enjoyable way for coaches, bowlers, and centers. So today's seminar is a little bit focused on what is coming with the future of Specto, how does it work, and how can you benefit from it, and for the bowling centers, how can you pay it back, or how can you convince your bowling center to pay it back ideas. Everything you will see today is going to happen and already happening, so let's see what's happening. So Specto is, at the end of the day, it scans the area and gives you data. By using those applications, mobile or Windows applications, we transfer it to a data that you can easily visualize. We have a very complicated coaching application and a very simple to use mobile application, which we will demonstrate you on the lane, so I'm not going too much into details. I'm going to talk about more benefits of them than how to use them here right now. This is an example from our mobile application. As you see, all of your shots can be visible, and we convert your shots into data. Where is it at the arrows, where is it at the breakpoint area, which board the ball break down and how far it goes before the breakdown, and more data, etc. But again, I'm not going too much into detail. When you come to the Coaches app, we have much more data. We can present about how much the latest? 35 and counting. 45 and counting. So we have a lot of data. We now also can link it to the lane toll system. So we can also provide you the scores and pupils like you can see in this terminal. Other than that, the Coaches application also provides some more data which I will come you, like you can put it over the lane map, or you can put it on the oil pattern, and it has nice tools around it which Juha and or will demonstrate you later. But it's a fun tool to use, and use those graphics walking around the screens during the event is coming from that application. We can create reports out of the data, and one of our popular data is that we create for ball performance test. So one of the benefits of that report is you can test your balls one by one and see how they're reacting. Then you can even change the surface of the ball, do the tests again, so you can see the real differences, or you can get the ball out of the box, make the test, then you can try to go back to the original surface afterwards. So this is why we think it's a great tool, especially for the pro shop operators, and also creating your arsenal, because you may think some of your balls are hooking more than each other, but you sometimes forget how many games on your balls, or your bowlers forget about it. So your most hooking ball in your mind may not be your most hooking ball, but now there is a way to compare them and put them in the right order. Or understand, it is a time to change it or not, create a very good arsenal. So preparing your arsenal, changing your arsenal, talking with your pro shop operator, Specto provides you amazing data about your bowling ball's performance. Do you want anything to this? Okay. Future. Dear friends, the first part that we will present you is from screens that we are working on. Will be presented which event, 1st January or the end of this year? 23rd PBA, right? It will be broadcast on 23rd. Dear friends, PBA and Kegel had a connection with Fox Sports, and the Fox Sports, Kegel and PBA have a deal. And according to that deal, from now on, the upcoming season, Specto will be used in all of the PBA events to provide extra data for spectators. So now, spectators will not see only a ball rolling down the lane. Now they will understand what's happening on the lane, and they can see why professionals are called professionals, or why they missed that shot, what happened, what happens when they change their balls A to B, and what is the real difference between bowler A and B. Because now we can provide this data to broadcasters, and they can put it on the screens right now. Short examples, for instance, whenever the bowler makes the shot, we can quickly demonstrate the speed, and where is the ball at the arrows, and you can put an arrow that was left, a little bit more left than previous shot. Because one of the biggest questions when you watch an event, did it miss to the left, did it miss to the right? What happened? Is it faster, is it slower? Now we have an answer for that, which is good for bowlers, which is also good for spectators. Because most of the time, you know that in difficult conditions, we have champions here, I know that pain. When we play on difficult patterns, shooting 200 is equal to easy patterns 240, 260. But most people don't know that. So my neighbor is shooting 200, so it's even better than the professionals, but they don't know how good the professionals are, they don't know how effort of a good athlete perform. Now we can demonstrate. Or we can show how consistent they are with their speeds, or after a shot, we can easily demonstrate what did the ball do as a strike line, where the ball was on the laydown point, at the arrows, break point, and on the pocket, or other data like their speed, revolutions, or some new concept we generated which is called power. Power is the multiplication of revolutions and speed. So the more power the bowlers have, we believe they have more chance of pin action and more strikes. So this is how we generated that thing. And as you see, we show the preferred line and how accurate they are at their target right now. Another one is a zoom function. We can zoom down to the arrow points and we can see how little mistakes they make, or how big, depends on what they do actually, but things like that. Good comparison. We heard it so many times during the announcements that the announcer says they changed the ball. Yeah, so what happened? Why they changed the ball? So now we know why they changed the ball and how they will change their playing angle. We can have more comparisons of bowlers. We can also show the comparisons of where they like to play the game. And we can give the data in the break time, can compare all bowlers, what are their averages and which line they prefer to play during the whole game. We can show another zoom thing, and we can do pocket analysis. We can show how they move during the games, or this. This is an invention that Mr. Aviram made actually. This is called strike line tracker. This is the previous strike of Marshall Kent. And look what's happening right now. New shot. Just over it. Now we know if it does not a strike, what happened or what did he miss? Or are we still expecting a strike, and how good he is repeating his shots. So that is what we call strike line tracker. It's a real-time thing, and we think it will put a lot of excitement to the game, because now we can compare the bowler's same shot in the same lane and the new shot. Look at it, it's really, and the timing is correct, my friends. This is real timing. The reason, yeah, that's a good one. I love that. Dear friends, why is that important? Because now, when PBA it affects the bowlers a lot. It creates a lot of demand. So the more we provide the data, people will start to talk about their games as numbers, performances, ranges, and other stuff like that. So people will start to demand it. And also, we are adding more features to make it more user-friendly to all bowler profiles in the bowling center. We made some researches. There are different types of bowlers in the bowling center. I'm sorry. You probably know some of them. Some of them are hardcore workers. They go, they train hours and hours. Is there anyone here like that? Hardcore bowler who likes to practice? Wolf? Nobody else? All others are lazy? Come on, be honest. I saw some of you. Pascal, I saw you were practicing. You're a hardcore practicer. Come on, don't be shy. All right. So, we have hardcore practicing bowlers. We have bowlers who doesn't care too much about everything, but they like to be in the bowling center and play the game, and then the most important competition is the 3-game league night. But they go every night, they play a game, they do something. Or there are what we call action guys. They like to be in the bowling center and immediately, hey, would you like to game with me for a beer or something, stuff like that. So most of the time, these, we can divide them into two profiles. This is why we created an ecosystem for different type of bowlers, and we call it Specto version 3. So when you enter the Specto universe now, you are going to see these 3 parts of, and each part are related to the demands of that type of bowlers. Performance is what it is now, which is exercises, drills, hardcore practice for athletes and champions, preferably you. Challenges are short-time things, and you can prove how good you are to your friends and to the world, because there will be scoreboards all around the world. I will show you the examples. And if you're a dedicated bowler, which means I want to go and do something together. If you are playing every level of Angry Birds, or if you like to, stay on the game for a long time, that is made for you. Worlds are secret gamified practices. We are providing a game option for the bowlers. While they were playing a game, they also practice. It's like this new Pokemon thing. They have to be active to get some points on everything. So, it's a kind of long-term practice thing. You enter one of the worlds. You choose your difficulty level first. Wherever you think you are, you just start from one of the difficulty levels. Then you choose one of the worlds and you start to do the drills that are asked in the thing, like this. This is the easiest one. You have to keep the ball between first and 39 board, which is the lane, as you can. So keep the ball on the lane. This is the exercise. Okay, we start from scratch pad. We have to start from a point, right? So you choose the world, you do the thing. If you make it, you have 5 chances to do it. If you make 2 out of 5, you can pass to the other world. But would you? Because if you got 5 greens here, that means you will get more stars from the game. And at the end, if you got all 3 stars, you got the gold medal. And if you finish a world with all gold medals, you get the super trophy. That one. So it gets difficult and difficult. So you see, this is your medal meter. The more stars you got a bronze medal, you got a silver medal, and you got a gold medal. And if you are good enough, you can get the super trophy. So we try to create something that is similar to our, competition environment, but also have a little bit fun. So it goes like that, then you can start the other thing. If you want a medal or trophy or whatever there are. Challenges are shorter, quicker, but you can always do better. So there is no way of finishing them. One of the examples are this, for instance. You make a shot, then you've been asked to make it 1 mile faster, 1 mile faster, then 1 mile faster. But it's not enough. You have to slow down and go down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots, you have to complete this thing. You have to go up and you have to go down within a given limit. Or you make a base shot, 18.5 miles per hour, then you'll be asked to repeat it as much as you can. Today you may repeat it 14 times, but if somebody is repeating 60 times, they are better than you, so you have to be faster. You have to try it again. Maybe we can beat Korean athletes now. No chance they will beat you. Alright, 7 and 10. Who says I'm the master of 7 and 10? How many times back to back you can make one shot to the 7, one shot to the 10, 7, 10, 7, 10. How many times you can do that? Now it's time to prove it. You can do it and show it to the world. Or we call it drawing book. You know, Specto draws your shots on the lane, so you are aimed to draw the same shape. And the best result is 12. How many shots you may need to make to draw this shape on the lane? Or this. Some people think, you know, I can throw straight as an arrow, I'm a super spare shooter. This will make you a better spare shooter without knowing, you know, so it's a good one. Or can you get out of this thing and hit this? Or you get out of this and hit this, which is more difficult. Or you can pass through this and hit the target, but how many times you can hit the target within these given you know, obstacles on the lane, non-existing obstacles. So some coaches may know that, you know, when we make exercises, we have to put stuff on the lane, so we don't need that anymore. So the lane stay clean and clean it after you finish your class. Or it shows you speed and asks you to repeat the speed on the screen. I don't know how many can do that, but that's a difficult one. This is a good one. Or the closer it gets, if you're a favorite Jason Belmonte fan, can you repeat his shot? As he can. One shot. Can you do it? Upcoming nice thing. One of them is scoring integration, which you have this part of it without the pins right now. In your applications, in the center, you can do it. But this is the future. Your game, your shots. 3 games, 6 games, championship, tournament, league, whatever you have, you can now record your games and you can check what you did exactly. Were you faster or slower? What made you lose the spin? Why you left the split? Why you missed the pocket? Now you have an idea after the game for a better analysis of your game. So, these are coming and we want, you know, to reach every profile of bowler in the market, but at the same time, as a bowler or as a coach, in that world, we have things for you as well. One of them is, of course, as I tell you, we translate shots to numbers. When you translate numbers to the shots, it gives you a performance thing. Now we have something called range. We are talking about how good you are repeating the shot. I want to hit this target. I miss it from this direction or miss it that direction. So I have a 3-board range hitting my arrow. Can I make it better? Can I be a 2-board range bowler or will I get worse? So this gives you an idea of who you are, what's your performance, and this can give you a target to practice and continue your journey in the bowling world. Nice thing is, whoever works with their bowlers with long-term, medium-term, short-term goals, sports psychologists, coaches, when you are working with measurable goals, now we have another tool to do. You can define the goals of shot and performance within the numbers. So you can put your name. At the end of this year, I will be 2.5 boards at the arrows. I will be more accurate. I will be 2 boards at the break point. That's my thing. And you will see why we are trying to do that in the future. This is why you try to do that. If you want the lady players like Daria or Clara Guerra, you know, PBA or world champions, your arrow range is to be 1.5 or 2.3, somewhere between them. But look at their pattern exit range, speed range, everything. So now you have a target. If you follow someone, how can you be better than them? We know the numbers of those bowlers. And please remember, biggest difference, we know those numbers from the real competition environment. This is how they play the game. This is the most biggest difference because today all of your shots on the lanes are telling how you are playing the game. It's not like a control environment. You go and make 10 perfect shots. It is not that. This is how you play the game. How you start the game, how you move in, what is your speed change from the first game to the 8th game in this championship. Are lanes getting dry or are you getting slower? That's a very good question actually. So now you can know after those things. That data can provide you. So now you know, instead of, moving in, you have to improve your condition and fitness. It's another thing. And the key, as coaches or young bowlers, when you're working with your friends or everything, when something is more visual, it's much easier to see. Let me introduce you our deep practice screen, which is focusing you to only one topic itself. If you are practicing speed, you define what you try to do. You say, I'm going to try to repeat my speed within a half-mile range or 2-kilometer range. You put your target speed, you enter your range, and you try to be as green as possible in your application. This is the only thing you focus. Dear friends, focusing one topic at a time in terms of deep learning, which is one of the fastest and really learning process, that will improve your speed, performance, faster, and it stays. This is what they are made for, okay? Another thing is what we provide you, skip hook and roll. You probably heard it from your coaches or you know it already. The ball reaction. You heard some people tell your ball doesn't roll, your ball doesn't hook. Your ball reads early or faster. Now during the practices you will learn what your balls do and what happens when you make a change. Hey, if I hold my hand like this and that I can change my, what, and does it really works out? Maybe you think, hey, I want to speed up. I have to hold the ball in this position. Maybe you are wrong. Did you ever try it? Are you really getting fast? I see so many bowlers who think little things they make are making exchange is not happening. So that's a good thing. Why? Because now you don't, use your brain for things that doesn't work. So you have to find something work for you. Then you look for a solution, a real solution that makes a change in your game. Okay? So, learn about the history of the game. Are you playing in this environment or are you playing in this environment? This is an open house condition. This is a low-level league condition. And the screens we show you all week long are the championship condition. You can see your shot in a different point of view, 3D. We can provide you reports so you can see it clearly. And we have a great practice tool you see on the left, but we have wonderful practices, great national team selection programs, and very strong practices. I'm passing this part. A very simple tool, simple mobile application. Even bowlers can use, or coaches. We try to make it so simple. Well, there is a reason saying that if you see the, 5 years ago, some coaching applications, you really need a PhD to run those coaching applications, and exam patience because it was crashing all day long. So we try to go through it, okay? One key topic, my friends. You may not want to share your information. You don't want other people see you. You want to be, I want to know myself. You may not have a coach. This is okay. But then you can get this device, go to a lane, and see how you are doing by yourself. So you know it only, nobody else. But you can be honest to yourself. So because in other conditions, most of the time when you go there is a coach, there are devices, there are analysis, 500 people are seeing and learning about you. This is bad, this is bad. Now you can show yourself what exactly you're doing. So this is, I think, is an important thing too, especially for private people who likes to do. It is for all levels. Since we started to use Specto, we are so surprised that the positive feedback is not from the high-level bowlers, because most people think it's for high-level bowlers. We got even super command from the low-level bowlers, because now they have something to do on the lanes. They try to do something instead of following the stories and dreams. For instance, when we do the Weber Cup, you were here, my friends were there. How many times the athletes from the Weber Cup coming to you and asking, what was revolution? Did I miss or left or right? Last year we were in World Series. When we installed the Specto here, all athletes were at the side of Miyamochi. He misread, right? He's slow, right? Everybody wants to learn the game, what's happening over there. So it's for every athlete. Any note here? Well, we have, some athletes and coaches here. This is why they created this, to learn more about their games, right? It's like Thomas Larson, he enjoys using it, for instance. So he's a very high-level athlete, and he's non-stop sharing his spectos and everything. But at the same time, why it is important for mid-level bowlers? How many times you heard from the others, somebody else in the bowling center, you have to do this. You heard anything like that? Well, yes, that's a good. The guy on the left says, you have to drop the, let it forward, you have to go slower, you have to go faster, you have to try this, you have to hold like this, you just try this ball, try everything. There are experts in every bowling centers and more than coaches. My coach, the first time, he told me that if you want to find the real coach in the bowling center, find the one who speaks the less. He may be the real coach. Because everybody has an idea. So, how can they differentiate the right information from the wrong information? Which one is good for you? This is one of the tools that you can try and see if it works for you or not. Or they're, something bullshit. We have it. And one of the things is important here, especially mid-level bowlers, you have to provide them more measurable goals than other bowlers, because most of the time high-level bowlers know what they're after, but mid-level bowlers don't know what they're after. They want to be very good, but they don't know what is required to be very good. So you have to define them some goals, short-term, long-term goals, so they can follow up this dream. Coaches have. Now, good thing for coaches. Hey coaches, do you really know that your methods are working? We sometimes tell bowlers to do something. Is it really working? So this goes both ways, because if it works and the athletes see it, they will trust you more. If it works, you know you have something that works, so you can offer it to other athletes too. Be honest, So this is one of the examples that I can tell you. This bowler, as you can see, has a targeting issue. So you help him something about it, and you just put a torch and help him about targeting. This program ended 1.5, 2 hours practice, but this second Specto shot taken after 14 minutes after this one. There are 14 minutes in between them. Did they become better? Yes. Perfect? Not yet. But this bowler is better than this bowler, because their targeting is much better. Okay? Another example, clean up the mess. I told you that it happened to me a lot. I don't know. If your bowlers are listening to you more than mine, you're lucky, because I tell them to practice, for instance, steps, they go and practice release. I ask them to practice release, they practice swing. So I have such issues with some of my bowlers. Now I can know what they practice actually, because if this part doesn't get better, I know they didn't practice that part for them. That's one of the points. And these are interesting. My friends, same students, same analysis, before Specto, after Specto, same club, same people, same education level. You will be so surprised how their reaction to the game and the practice session changes. Their mood changes. Before they are more emotional, you have to motivate them a lot. With the numbers on the screen, they know what they're doing, so they just focus on their performance and they start to use this thing. So it is incredibly effective to change the mood of the practice, for changing the mood of the practice. I see so huge difference. You can't recognize your bowlers when they see themselves, what we call, evaluated with the numbers, right?
I use Specto a lot to actually...
I use Specto sometimes with high-level bowlers who think they are good at something. I use Specto to shut them up and keep on practicing. That's also a really good tool, because if you think you're good at something, it actually shows you're not.
And the other way around.
Other way around, this works too. So we're coming to that too. which is this. You try to reach to a bowler, so you are starting to make a conversation. In some cases, it's too difficult to reach the bowler because they think they are too good. In some cases, it's so difficult because they think they are too bad. And they think they're hopeless. I always do that mistake. I know I'm horrible about it, I'm horrible. Putting the shot into numbers and checking the performance can change the way they think. As Juha says, they may see, oh, there are some points I can improve, or they say, hey, I do something good. So it's very good for motivating your bowlers and find out what really requires attention. Because some people think, for instance, as in this example, this example, the bowler thinks he has a problem of hooking the ball. Actually, he doesn't have a problem of hooking the ball because he's all over the place. And he says, I don't know about bowling balls, I have to learn about better bowling balls. It doesn't matter as far as you have 15 ball breakpoint range, it doesn't matter which ball you use. You can get efficiency from that. So his mind is always in those zones, but he just has to learn targeting better. Then he can focus on the other way. So this is why it's so important targeting them in the right position. I see senior bowlers, after they see it, immediately try to do something because they think they are fast or slower, but even senior bowlers are reacting very good to the data from this thing. So it's not for only young people or new generation or something like that. Now, my friends, deep practices, maybe some of you know that. In the iCoach International Conference and the World Coaches Conference, you and I are a little bit on this topic for a long time. The reason is, time is changing and people have shorter times, and the athletes have shorter focus, attention span, let's say. So we have to find a way to keep them busy in a shorter time, but they have to learn better than before. So how can we teach something better in 10 minutes instead of 10 hours? How can it be written to the brain and becomes constant in the brain? So there are millions of deep practice researches about that, but we really like to embed it to Specto world. One of the important topics is, my friends, now be honest, how many bowlers think that striking is the most important thing? Or scores? In your book. How many bowlers think that in order to have strikes or good score, I have to be good about in the B, where my ball reactions. And how many of your students are aware, if I want the good ball reaction in this area, I have to be good in this area. Otherwise I can have that. So the idea is changing the focus from C to B and even to A, and make the target goal area B. So we try to teach them, if you focus on A, you will have a good B, which will end up with having a good C. So this is when you tell them, everybody says, yeah, I got it, of course. Yes, it is that the moment they throw the ball, they're after the ball. You know that. So what is the big thing? You close, for instance, in the AMF system, you just put it blind mode, no pins. Practice is wonderful. Everything you ask, it's happening on the lanes. Then you said, you got a very good day. How about putting the pins back? What happens? Those guys leave the bowling center, other guys come in, and they start to force the ball, all arrows, everything comes back. When the pins are not there, they are wonderful. So how can you make them focus on this area and make this perfect in order to get this area? Be the goal. My friends, if they understand whatever they do during the approach is automatically reflected to the B area, they start to focus on A. That's very simple. Let's see some examples about it. It is simply called cause and effect principle. So our aim is trying to make process as a goal in this sense. So deep practices actually aim for that. You are trying to put there, hey, I want you to focus on your target board only, and your range is to be 3. How many greens you can make? Green, 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 you're doing fine. Now you can combine skills. can you hit on the arrows, focus on 10, and also in the empty board, can you go 60.5? Only focus two things, but notice that we are still only here. In order to make this, the bowler has to focus before the fall line, otherwise immediately see that this is not happening. The secret information? Yeah.
I'll give you a little piece of secret information. In this bowling center, with this particular pattern, the best place to get a strike is 17.2.
According to your performance of the last 16, 32 games, man and woman, the most striking anti-board is 17.2, my friends. It's a good information. Reality check. How the process works. Get rid of the useless. Check if it works. If it doesn't, don't do it. Why do bowlers do weird things if it doesn't help them to bowl? Right? Get rid of it. Celebrate the success, ask for more. If they are good in 3 boards, ask them to hit 2.5 board. If they are good in 2.5 board, ask for 2 boards. You can always get better. Glory and satisfaction. At the end of a Specto session, my friends, they mostly feel, hey, I did very well, but tomorrow I can do better, and that will keep them motivated. Now, sample cases. Focus 1. That bowler is only and only trying to hit his target. I asked him to hit his target. Second one, I asked him to repeat his shot, not hit the target. Now, put yourself in the shoes of this bowler. If you see these two differences, will they tell you something? Will it tell you something? Focusing on the target, trying to hit the target, outcome is the upper part. Trying to repeating your shot ends up with the previous one. So, do you think that we can put a light on their brain and they think, if I do something correct here, outcome will be better? This is a proof. You can try it with every bowler. I never fail. Trust me. You can show them the truth. Trying to repeat the shot is equal to trying to repeat the shot. So it's, it's the reality. The bowler, the moment they start to practice, at the end of the practice day, focus on practice and everything. Do you know what is this? Friends show up. So the bowler is practicing perfectly on the second thing. Suddenly friends show up. And after the shots, they were coming and talking to their friends and they were going back. Now what does it tell to the bowler? If you don't focus well, your shots will fail. That's proof of it. Because she was super happy here, changing from here to here. She was happiest bowler in the center. And after 10 minutes, when her friends show up, her shots won't switch to that mode. So, doesn't it tell something to the bowler? Okay, now you don't have to tell anything because they are making the shot, they are seeing the outcome. Now they are understanding what affects them in a good way, what affects them in a bad way. As a bowler, as a coach, don't you want to know that secret, what affects you the best? Which is best for you? I want to see it. And I know friends can be bad sometimes. Now, at least for her. So I try to keep them away. This bowler is trying to repeat the shot again and again. This is Geddes. And he repeats, yeah. His issue is he's trying to practice the move inside. He wants to play more deep inside angles. Now, but he doesn't trust himself a lot. But he practices those. Now he feels that he has a strength. He knows from these angles he's good. He can repeat his shots. Then he switches in. He changes the angles. Sorry, it's not him. Here. Does it better? Not super. Like here, he misses one to the outside. They're not too wide. This is super deep. This is, this is like going to another country for it. It's too far deep inside angle. But this is happening in 10 minutes. Because he knows he can repeat the shots, he has the performance, he can move in and at least try the shots because he's got the trust, he got the motivation in it. Because you can prove the bowler at least in those corners, playing 22 or playing 25, you can still do better. These are not bad shots. So now you want the bowler. He knows he can do it. The next day, what he will do is come and practice about it because now they know they can make it. It is not one shot out of 10 hit the pocket. They have the outcome. So now they try to make this better, this to make this look better. Remember this week. Men's first block, ladies' first block. Your bowlers or half of you are doing this. Half bowlers move during the games, from the first game to the game. My friends, this is what we try to do. This is how champions play the game. So how can we train people to make this? You have to show them they can do it. This is so simple. This is what you did through the whole week. And you can show them what the pros are doing or what the champions are doing when you go back or convince them. If you can't do that, you need to practice more because this is what's happening on the lanes. You have to start from a position and you have to move it. Very simple. Okay? So now let's talk money. First part, like I don't know. My friends, we got this question a lot. How much is Specto? How can we purchase it? It's too expensive. How is our center paid? Well, actually, what we see from the centers we collected some sample business examples, how it works in the other bowling centers. So we want to share them with you. One of them is try to pay it back in 3 years. This is based on 3-year payment program. So technically, our software is 13,450 hardware. Specto is 13,450 euros, including installation to your center. And every year there is an annual fee. So 3 years, you have to cover 14,440 euros. If you divide it to 36 months, you need to get 401 euros each month to cover that thing, okay, in 3 years. So, what works for it? What methods work for it? One of them is, you don't do anything. You just put the Specto in your bowling center and it affects your lineage. Which means if your center is not packed all day long, if you have an increase in your lineage, which we are referring like, if you have 15 euros per hour, if your center works with hourly base, okay? So you have to create 401 euros, which is 27 hours per month. Which means, in one day, if you can create more than an hour, or 1 hour over 6 lanes, not 6 hours, 1 hour divided to 6 lanes. If you can create that much amount thing, it pays it back in 3 years. Or, if you have a 3 euro per game structure, if your payment is like that, which is 401 euros, you need to sell 134 games per month, which is almost 5 games per day only. You have to increase 5 games per day over 6 lanes, which means one game per lane, that you can pay it back in 3 months. Without increasing any money, without doing anything, just having little more lineage. If your center is capable of doing that, it pays it back in 3 months. One example is that. This is, my friend, the cost of it. 13 point extra 500 extra 5. So how can you cover that cost? If you have 3 euro per day, per game, and in weekdays, if you can have 1 extra game for each lane, if you have 6 lane Specto, if you add more game to each center, including the weekends, in 27 months it pays it back and keeps on winning money. After that point, after 27 months, you are still covering it, but you are also getting extra money. It's not only paying it, you now also the center starts to gain money. If you got any payment models, you have to pay X those months. As you see, the money keeps on coming and you pay at those per periods, so it covers that. Another example is increase the Specto lane fee. Let's say you have a 15 euro per hour thing and you increase it to 20 euros. You charge 20 euros per hour for the lane that Specto you use. So it makes 5 euro difference, which is to cover 401 euros. You need 8 extra hours for this thing, which is 2.6 hours per day to pay it on 3 years over 6 days. Please remember, 2.6 hours over 6 days. Or if you had 1 euro per game, it makes 401 games, you need only 13 games to increase it. Please remember why this is different than the previous model, because you take the 3 euro out, it's only 1 euro go to pay this thing. So the only difference is 5 euro and 1 euro. But if you don't do that, if you only charge 4 euro extra and you assume that that lineage goes to them, this is what happens. You pay it in 20 months. If you add 1 euro to your game, and if you sell it, if you create 1 extra game on each lane for every day, it pays it back in 20 months, not even 3 years. Shorter than 2 years. 1 euro per game. Another system, this is actually very popular in the United States, using your off hours, which we call Specto Club. So you charge 99 euros per year to use for annual free use of Specto between 4 and 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is if your center is not busy at those times. So which makes 8.5 euros per month, 99 divided by 36. So you try to pay 401 euros. So if you have 48 members out of your center, all of your center, think about all bowlers, teams, national teams, if you manage to get one of them paid 8.25 euros per month, 8 euros per month, then it pays it back in 3 years with the club range. Of course, these are tested systems. They are doing it and they are working right now. But we noticed that some centers are combining those systems, which to pay it back. One of them is, it's not the bowling center owner purchasing them, it is the center owner, the pro shop owner, the coach, and sometimes the clubs get together and share the costs. Then they pay it back. In some cases, the center makes a deal with the national team, the federation. They make a deal with the local clubs for fixed money for coming for the year that will cover their costs. So before they purchase it, even the Specto come to their center, their contract covers all of them. So it's kind of combination of them. So any combination in that sense may pay it back. We asked many bowling center owners, and they are thinking 3 years payment is not horrible, it's acceptable and doable, so maybe these methods can help you to convince them. It's also, in the application, in the dashboard, we provide your center owners to see how payments are going. Are they doing fine or bad? So here I give it to Orm to explain you about this dashboard structure and see how it works.
Thank you, Andre. Very educational. A little bit outside the scope of just Specto, but a very interesting approach to coaching in general and how to improve bowling, so appreciate it very much. What you see here is something that was actually requested by our customers when we started. It was just about providing the data that the centers use it how they see fit. And this is customer input that we received of bowling centers want to know exactly what's going on, how many people are coming and using the center, the Specto system in the center, how can they control the lanes turning on and off even when the owner is not in the bowling center. So we created a dashboard for each owner of Specto, and this is an example of what, over time, what is the usage of Specto, how many people are actually coming in to play in your center. This is accumulating number of bowlers. You can see that within a year, 450 bowlers have come specifically to run Specto on that on this center. This is something that you can use for yourself to see how good you are doing promoting your center, how good you are doing in educating your bowlers to come in and bowl and bring their friends to bowl with them. And on the next slide. Thank you. And this is how you would check your ROI. As Andre explained, there is a very specific 3-year ROI that you can measure yourself by. And this gives you a very good visual on how you're doing compared to the ROI line based on 1 hour more or 1 game more per lane per day. You can see at the bottom we have a set line, our 3-year ROI line. Right there. And then we have the actual usage of the system over time. This is an example of a center in the United States. It's doing very, very good. It's way above the ROI line. It's actually, if he has monetized on this on a simple €1 more, he has paid back the system in much less than a year. You can also see the spread of the type of bowlers. Under as mentioned, different types of bowlers, those hardcore practice bowlers who really want to come and spend a lot of time with the system, and then there are those more recreational and more making level bowlers that want to come play for a little bit and they go back home. This is the type of bowlers who are actually coming to the center to bowl for you, bowl in your center. This is all about how you promote it. There is a way to make money out of it, but it's basically up to you to get to these numbers. We see a lot of Facebook posts, we see a lot of Instagram, we see a lot of activity in social media to get the bowlers to come. And it's a perfect example is a center in the United States. It's a training center, privately owned. A single person has created it. He has put a lot of money, not just in Specto, but in camera system, all the highest gear, and he constantly posts about people coming over to practice, a person driving 90 miles to play, to just refit his arsenal using Specto system. We receive those posts and we republish them. So we publish it to other customers who use Specto, other bowlers who follow up on our page, and we try to promote it for you as well. But it's also up to you to actually activate the system and post pictures, post from your bowler, repost them, like Thomas, and of course, everything that we posted, we repost other on Kegel name, on the Kegel brand. So all bowlers who are friends who like the Kegel brand and they track it, they get the information as well. It increases your exposure over the web.
Dear friends, also when you purchase Specto system, you have access to marketing material that has been created by us, and there's tons of templates for Instagram, social media, and everything, the graphics, logos, and everything. They're all ready. You just replace the logo with yours, so you can start promoting it. So you don't have to spend, money and effort on it. They're all ready. Any questions? Yes, sir.
When a bowler has data in one center, and you go to another center with Specto.
Yes. Yes. Whenever a bowler registers to the system, all of his data is saved on the cloud, so wherever they go, they can reach the report even from the home, from the browser. So the data is available everywhere. Because the data is saved with the center's name, so they can use it everywhere. So it doesn't matter where the bowler is. They can use any Specto sample. They just have to log into Specto with their own name. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Do you have any info about Europe using the system?
Europe?
Yes.
How many centers in Europe, you mean?
No, I mean in general, the economy system. How does it work in Europe? The customers are, let's say you have about...
The last part we give as examples, like clubs, federation deals, and combinations are from Europe.
From Europe?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Most American systems are based on, the Specto Club only or increasing lineage because they have enough time in the daytime, so their lineage is increasing. They are using that method mostly. But the combinations are Europe because of the limited resources. They all come together, and club structure and federation structure is more strong in Europe compared to the other places.
Thank you.
Any more? You ready to see it live? On the lanes with the masters? Let's go to the lanes. The last six lanes, right, Sven? Last 6 lanes are dedicated. If you go there, Juha and Or will be with you there.
Like this sample, the new samples, the talk is different. They see very clearly. New samples are more different. If it's there,
The live screen.
sometimes it works very well in the first 6 months, which covers a small part of
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you Ender for the presentation. I will walk you through the applications before we actually start to get some live data. Let's go through the coaches at first. As you can see, there's a lot of measurements. This is basically the screen I'm using. There's about 25 different data points to collect. In general, there's so much data that it's really difficult to chew all this much information at once. But the good thing is that everyone can customize what data points they want to see on their screen. Usually if I'm working with the lower level bowlers, I probably take less than 10 different data points. If I'm working with the high level bowlers, they are ready for much more information, so then I'll take maybe 15. If I'm using only for myself, I'll take these 25. But as you're using it, you get to learn what things you want to see and what things you can chew out of the information. Right here on the screen, I have laydown point, arrows board, pattern exit, breakpoint board, breakpoint distance, entry board, pin deck exit, pin deck deflection. Yeah, pin deck deflection, custom position. I want to sometimes put a marker on the lane. Sven, can you go to the computer, move the stuff. So there's a customizable marker that you can just take and track to any distance you want. Put it, for example, 45. Then, well, actually, it went back to Sven. It went back to your data screens. So the good thing is, Sven, can you show how to change the data points? If you go to the settings, you can choose whatever topic you want. Like Laura said, there's 45 different measurements, and I have a list of 145 on my computer, but not all of them are coming, at least anytime soon. So basically, you can choose what data to display and in which order to display as well. You can also just adjust the oil pattern, opacity. make it more visible or less visible. You can adjust the lane map opacity. You can choose, if you have a Brunswick center, you can choose to display the rangefinders. You can also change the lane appearance depending on which lanes you have in your center. A lot of different options. Let's go back to the line screen again. Can you choose from the settings on the left? Yeah, you already also have default settings, default measurements, depending on what you want to measure. So that then now we'll need some power. Sven, come here and make a couple of shots. Can somebody bring him some apple lunch? That was much better than the previous one. So you can choose whether to have a single shot view that we're having now, or multiple shot now when Sven makes another shot. You can see both shots laid over each other. Or you can have the latest shot in color and the other as a ghost in the background. Then we also have a sort of like a hidden feature where actually we can measure also the friction that the ball is creating on the lane. So now when you see the lighter the green is, the less the ball slows down. The darker it gets, the more it starts to slow down. Basically, based on that, we can measure also what is the friction of each shot. We left it, at first we thought it was like for our research use, but we actually left it as a hidden feature, so maybe the users can find it. Then we have also the line drawing tool. You can choose a line where you want the ball to be, basically at any point on the lane. You set which footage, and you can track and turn it. So now the player needs to stay on that particular line on the lane. Also in the coaches app we have the V-Practice view. We made an update on the V-Practice. Basically you can choose whatever data point there is on the list that you want to focus on. You can set your preference where you want that particular position to be, and you can also set the range, within which range you want the shots to be. As long as you're hitting the target, you can see the shots on green. If you all of a sudden miss your target, then it turns red. So basically with one simple view you can see whether it was a good shot or not. You can also choose the dual mode, where you can set two different data points to be focused on. We don't want to put any more than two at the moment because it would a little bit take away the idea of V-Practice, where you need to focus on really precisely on one or maximum two things at a time. We also have some practices, some challenges, and some tests as well. On the performance side, Right now, we created a few special drills for this event now that will probably have the reigning coaches world champion of the world, Juha Maja, competing here. Right now we have Finnish, all the big Finnish national team tests, what they do on their testing camp. It's all in Specto now, so it's actually they revealed their secret to everyone, so everybody can do those tests. Pretty soon we will probably have the same from Sweden, Team USA, and so on. But those things are coming. There's different practices, ranking sessions. We will add around 5 to 10 different practices every month into the system. I have about 200 different practices already done in my computer, but we don't want to stuff it all at once inside the system, but it keeps on updating on a monthly basis. We also have a performance test where you can test the reactions of your different bowling balls. You can actually check what is your arsenal, what is the ball in your arsenal that crosses the most boards, what is the ball that crosses the least boards. So, and you can see all the sessions you have done and all the sessions, practice sessions you have saved in the system. But you can also access those through web browser. If you go Specto Bowling, you log in with your username and password, you can see all this list and you can print them or send them to your coach or whatever other needs for that. So that's pretty much the coaching, the coaches app. I don't want to go too deep into the measurements, we don't have time for that, but let's go now next to the mobile app. As Ender said, we're all coaches, so we actually created this huge monster first with all these 45 different measurements because of the passion for bowling. We quite soon realized that for a standard bowler, that's way too much information, right? So for that purpose, we also created the mobile app, which has less data points, but it's always in your pocket. You don't need to drag a laptop into the lanes, and you just take your phone and you can view all the data. So now on the mobile app we have choices. We can choose either 6 data points, which is arrows, breakpoint board, breakpoint distance, entry board, launch speed and RPMs, or you can choose to see 10 different data points. So now we added the laydown point, we added the launch angle, impact angle, launch speed, entry speed into the measurements as well. And from the launch speed and entry speed you can also calculate the speed loss of the ball. Then for this tournament we have a special feature with the scoring integration. So now we also can see what are the scores. We created this system together with LaneTalk because LaneTalk has access to every single manufacturer's scoring system. If we make the scoring system directly with all the manufacturers, it would take us about 6 years to create the application to each and every version of each and every scoring system. It would take ages. So we got it much faster by doing it together with LaneTalk. So basically you have most of the features except the line drawing tool also in the mobile app. You have all the same drills, all the same practices, deep practice modes and everything also on the mobile app. On the mobile app there's a special feature, the 3D view. Basically you can turn the lane and view the ball going down the lane from any direction or any perspective. You can view the shot behind the pins. You can twist the lane to any direction. You get a lot of different measurements. Also on the 3D mode, you have the ranking sessions, the challenges, the practices, all the same things that are also in the coach's app. The only difference is you cannot display that many data points on a smaller screen. That's about it. Is there anything or you have in mind? Anything else? Questions? Both both applications are for the users, free to download. We don't charge anything for that. You just need to create your account, user account, and start using it. Okay. So for this this event, I created few extra practices, and first one is really simple. First one is really simple. You just need to hit the head pin 5 times in a row with a negative launch angle, so you actually have to hook the ball using a house ball. Because last September when we had iCoach conference in Kuortane, we had Coaches World Championships of the world with Specto, and the surprise winner was Juha Maja, the head coach of Sweden, because he cheated. He bowled like a girl to beat me. So now I changed the rules a little bit. Do you know why I changed the rules? Because I can. So my game, my house, my game, my rules. So now the second part of it is a little bit more complicated. We check what is your versatility, how you play different lines on the lane. You have to. But you have to hit the head pin also 5 times in a row. Which one is that? That's good. Sven, can you go back to the first one? Now you had your practice runs. Let's time. So now he has to hit the head pin 5 times in a row, but the ball has to go left to right. The first ever Coaches World Champion of the world is Zhenya Petrovsky from Ukraine. There's only one person in the world who has got 2 silvers and 2 gold medals. That'll be me. Is there anyone who wants to come and try the system now on the lanes? You're welcome, the lanes are open. but it was 5 consecutive. If you miss once, you have to make 5 again. But so let's get to the next one. So we can create really easy things, like hitting the head, that's all. But we can also create quite complicated things. Now he has to play over board 13 at the arrows. Breakpoint has to be on board 8 within quarter range board, and you need to hit the pocket. Yep. Now he may need some acronyms. 13 at the arrows, 8 breakpoint, 1.5 board range at the arrows, 4 board range at the breakpoint, but you have to hit the pocket as well.
Okay, I'll explain exactly what we're saying. We have place markers on the lane, instructing us, assisting us on the drill itself. They will color red for hitting too high, blue for hitting too low, and green for actually hitting where you're supposed to hit, but you hit too high on the arrows. Try again. The idea behind it is to give immediate feedback to the bowler about what he was doing, either good or bad, good, green, bad, anything other than green, and this assists in connecting the feeling the bowler just had by making the shot to the actual result. How did that feel? You'll make it. Practice till you get it. Well, you hit your target, just miss the pocket. Move your feet. Let's see, have a chance. You hit too low on the arrows. Oh, sorry, too high on the arrows. It was 14 on the arrows. Come on, we'll give you one more try. Now it was too far to the right. In between, when you need to rest, bowlers don't rest. Coaches do.
Okay, now I think we've embarrassed Juha enough, so I got my payback. That was the entire meaning of it.
Let's see you, Juha. Second best thing you coaches do is excuses.
You have your own ball this time? He gets one.
He did it! He actually did it!
Simple but easy.
Well done. Anybody else wants to try? It's free. You can download the app, you can run the drills yourself, you can practice yourself, and have fun with what you do. Thank you very much.
Show him how to do it. Easy with the ball that fits.